if you think you're born in the wrong body, I'm very sorry for you.
But that's a metaphysical argument, not a scientific one.
That's exactly what that is.
And I'm sorry, but when was the last time you went to the men's room and it was a group activity?
Yeah, men don't go to the restroom in gaggles and packs.
See, that's how you know you're not dealing with a real man, is because only a chick would think that is the environment for inclusivity and togetherness. With social distancing regulations in effect all over the country, you can't spend all day on Pornhub. So in between those fapping sessions, expand your mind with Uncle Nick. A 30-something bachelor in the jizz-soaked shores of California, he's probably the only guy left there who hasn't banged Amy Horton. His panache for public intoxication makes him the perfect redonkulous companion during this quarantine. Because you wouldn't want to be seen with this guy outside of your home, even if you could. Download your copy on Amazon today. A link is in the description. What's going on, you piss-sitting sycophants? I'm Blake, this is Popp.
Ah!
It's time for another Ride and Roast with 2 Richard salads in a car.
Sycophants, I like
Sycophants. And I shaved.
You did shave.
Felt like it.
Smooth.
Now I'm smooth as a $2 hooker's Brazilian wax.
And why don't you tell them the Dollar Shave story?
Oh, the Dollar Shave story, yeah. Okay. Well, after the whole Gillette debacle with the commercial, y'all probably remember that from a couple of years ago.
We'll put a link to it in the description.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's another video that got us on the naughty list.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
I just tell the truth, man.
The commercials were so choice. Do we cheat him and how?
You know what? Why don't we do some more of those? Because those are pretty fucking funny and they're easy to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, though, that was my absolute
Oh my God,
favorite.
that was hilarious. Of course, that's an old running joke from back in the day. But
what's up, baby killers? You need something to stop the bleeding? So messed up.
I'm such a dick, but it was funny. Woo!
But if you remember that episode, you know that one of the last things that we showed was a box from the Dollar Shave Club. Well, that was actually my membership. I did start it up with them. And evidently they think that razors only last a week. So I have a backlog of razors that stretch from here to the moon, to the point where I actually had to cancel my membership because I had so many razors in backlog.
Yeah, if we have any fans that use Harry's or Dollar Shave, could you put your opinion of that in the comments so we can read about it?
Yeah, because I hear Harry's is pretty good. But yeah, man, if they kept sending me razors, I was going to be like one of those survivalist prepper mother fornicators with like an underground panic room that was just stacked to the ceiling with razors instead of, dried beans and rice and canned goods. What the
Yeah, well, hey, man.
Because that's where you're supposed to make that turn from.
Listen, it's Detroit. There's a lot of stupid people driving around here. What are you going to do?
Speaking of stupid people, we got a humdinger for you today.
Humdinger! Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert Humperdinck?
Oh, yeah. Engelbert Humperdinck.
You know his real name was Jerry Dorsey?
I know, he changed his name to Engelbert
Humperdinck.
Why the fuck would you do that?
I would love to be in the room when they were working that shit through.
That had to be a publicity stunt.
Zingelbert Bimbledack. Kringelbert Fisty Buns. What? Encourage men to pee sitting down to be more inclusive of trans men.
Oh, wait, okay. What did you just fucking say?
Encourage men to pee sitting down to be more inclusive of trans men. Should I put quotes around that last word?
Yes. So we have to change our toilet habits because of a him, she.
I'm sorry, one of the only male privileges we actually have is the freedom to not have a super long line at live events. At least, that was the case before the coof.
Yes.
Because we don't have to wait for a stall and sit down. And in those really terrible situations, you have those urinal troughs.
Oh, yeah.
That's a meat gazer's paradise right there.
We have to go through all of this crazy horse shit for somebody's feelings.
Yes.
Who makes up less than 1/4% of the gross United States population.
But if you don't, then you're a bigot. You're problematic, way.
So they're going to pull out the phobist words on us.
Oh, I'm sure that this is going to devolve into something really grotesque. Not every man is able to pee standing up. Yes, they can, actually.
Yes, they can.
If you're biologically a man.
Well, actually, anyone can pee standing up. Just half the human race does it messily.
Yeah, unless you have that micro penis that like sits on top of your nuggets like a.
It's the MeWe or
like a hummingbird, and like you can only pee straight ahead.
Yep.
It is time for men to take a seat on the throne to create a more inclusive environment in the men's room.
I'm so sick and tired of this inclusive bullshit. Fuck off!
Because it's not inclusivity. It's discrimination. You're discriminating against the majority because you want to feel like you're part of the club.
If you think you're born in the wrong body, I'm very sorry for you.
But that's a metaphysical argument, not a scientific one.
That's exactly what that is.
And I'm sorry, but when was the last time you went to the men's room and it was a group activity?
Yeah, men don't go to the restroom in gaggles and packs.
See, that's how you know you're not dealing with a real man, is because only a chick would think that is the environment for inclusivity and togetherness.
No, man. You walk through the doors of the men's room, eyes forward, do your business, get the fuck out.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And it only makes it weird when you're standing next to each other at the urinal and they don't have, the little separation thing, which costs all of $2 to make at Home Depot. Is there any particular reason why some restrooms don't have those?
I don't know, but you ever go to like a restroom at a bar or some kind of fancy event, and there's a dude in there and giving out gum and mints and shit?
He never says a word.
No, he just hands you shit.
Which
is cool.
But while you're standing there doing your business, he's not grilling you like your dentist. Which even then, that's just as awkward. You got shit in your mouth. So, you ever do any fishing? Yeah, I've been there many times myself. What the fuck? Now is not the time for that discussion.
No. That's just fucking nuts, man.
And that's what she's hoping to get a peek at in the restroom, I'm just saying.
As I was transitioning, I found it triggering to...
Shit! We're already triggered.
I'm triggered.
To constantly have to use the stall when going to the bathroom with my cisgender male friends. My best friend since college recently confessed to me via Discord.
Wah.
I had already educated me thoroughly on many issues.
Are you educating yourself, or is that a typo?
I think it's a typo.
It screams typo.
I had already educated me thoroughly on the many issues faced by the transgender community, but I admit I had never even thought about anything like this before.
It is what it is. You are what you are, and if you want to cry about it all the time, that's your problem. It's not my problem.
What really pisses me off, and this is the same argument that the alphabet community employed all through the 90s, because it used to be a live and let live thing. I was born this way. Allow me to accept myself for who I am. Please accept me for who I am. Okay, fine. But now we have an entire growing section of the population, a bunch of trenders, who couldn't accept themselves for who they are, but they want the rest of society to bend over backwards to accept a fiction.
Yeah, a delusion.
A delusion, exactly. Yep. Because the only other section of the population with a suicide rate anywhere near approaching the manual transmission community are schizophrenics.
Yeah, well, actually, we had a guy in the comments say that, he doesn't know what you're talking about because he's a schizophrenic.
Well, that would probably be why he doesn't know what I'm talking about. We live in an age of readily accessible information. As long as you don't try to find that information through a multinational billion-dollar corporation with a vested interest in fucking your country in the ass, you can probably find it.
And if you don't, that's probably on you because you're lazy.
The wheels in my head started whirring, and soon enough I came up with this beauty.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
You see, benefits of sitting down to pee for a cisgender man can include a feeling of independence.
What the fuck? Okay.
A reduction in total bathroom breaks, an even easier cleanup, safety, and much, much more. Let's explore
safety?
Safety.
What safety are you talking about?
Anybody running through bathrooms with piss on the floor? With bare feet?
Let's explore 30 reasons men should sit down to pee.
30 reasons!
I'm sorry that you can't stand up to pee with your gangrenous infected pus dong, but that's not my problem.
That is so mean.
Solidarity with trans men and women. Yay!
Well, most of this, she's just talking about, feelings here.
Yeah.
And what do feelings do?
Nothing.
Well, they change.
Yes.
They're not based on reality. They're based on a moment in time of how you feel.
Yes. Excuses and feelings both have the same maximum range.
0 meters, baby.
But we're not done.
No.
Not taking an aggressive penis stance shows that you are secure in your masculinity.
You ain't no queer, are you, son? An aggressive penis stance. Not taking an aggressive penis stance shows that you are secure in your masculinity. So once again, we have someone who's not a man
Yep.
trying to tell men how to be men.
Yeah, I've had so many arguments with feminists over the years, and they're always like, "Well, if you were a real man, you'd do this."
Man up.
I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I led men in battle, bitch."
If they knew what a real man was, they wouldn't be, they wouldn't be going for their 3rd consecutive term as the mayor of Boxed Wine and Catland.
Dude, by the way, I love that graphic you did.
You know what else shows that you're secure in your masculinity? Not trying to tell other people what to do so you can feel like you belong.
Or what most men do is, we mind our own goddamn business, and we don't care what you do.
The bathroom is not a place for a social experiment.
You tend to put more pressure on your bladder when sitting down to pee, and this can be beneficial in urinating more. Who doesn't want a complete pee?
For men, it's not. I mean, you can literally pee the same amount standing up as sitting down. It's relatively stupid.
Oh, I agree, it's stupid.
I don't think what she's saying has a basis in fact.
This article is not going to change anyone's mind.
Improved body image and a sense of calm.
Okay, so that is feelings right there. Calm and improved body image is how you feel about yourself, correct?
Yeah.
It's all feelings,
It's
man.
all feelings. Well, not only that, but people who are trying to lose weight tend to not want to look at themselves when they're sitting down because that's when the coagulation of all of the belly fat just all kind of converges together and it looks like a dude's hot dog neck with a hole in it. And yeah, that's not really conducive to a great body image.
No.
So I don't know where you're getting this one.
Sitting while peeing gives you a strong sense of feeling safe. What are you...
How are you safer sitting down?
Like I said, you could tell that a chick wrote this. And let me see here. Yeah, there's no actual author credited. It comes from a website called femoid.com that is supposed to be by women for women.
Now, I will say this. When I was doing things in America of the South,
Merc.
one of the downfalls is if you go into the town and you're using the public toilet, they like to come up behind you and stab you in the back.
Oh.
So I would always, I just screwed with my head so bad. Even to this day, I'll usually go in a stall and shut the door. So I have a little bit of warning before somebody comes in to stab me in the back.
Okay, so if you're in South America, in the murder capital of the world, in like Caracas or something like that, then you may have a point.
Yes.
But we're not trying to improve the lives of people in that part of the world. We're only worried about women here, right?
That's right.
Women and men here. Well, women and men here. They don't really give a shit about you if you're just a regular man. If you're cisgendered, you're privileged.
That's right. They hate your guts.
Really cracks me up that, they still try to say that white privilege, male privilege, all of these things exist, and if you don't see it, it's just because you're part of the problem. But race is a social construct, gender is a social construct. It's like, okay, so you can choose to be privileged? That's fantastic.
That's right, yeah. And I can't tell how many times I've argued with guys that, about other people's reality.
Yeah.
There's only one reality.
Uh-huh.
Everything else is either perspective or opinion.
Putting a more positive spin on the experience of peeing, the ability to concentrate more on what you're doing because of the relief that comes from having your legs spread wide instead of trying to hold them up with one hand while trying not to take a leak in the other. What?
What is she talking about?
I have no idea.
Having your legs spread wide instead of trying to hold them up with one hand. I'm trying to hold my legs up with one hand.
What?
What dude stands there with his legs firmly locked together like a pair of stilts?
Choose a seat with a built-in cushion or 24-karat gold, or treat yourself to one of those fancy Japanese ones that sing to you and massage your back.
I enjoy a puffy, comfortable toilet seat. I'm just gonna say.
I know. You give me a toilet with a back massager, or shit, you give me a toilet with a ball massager. I'll sit down all day long. But it would have to be in my own home. I'm not going to use a public toilet with a ball massager.
No!
Yeah, could you imagine the Petri stew of dysfunctional DNA that you would wind up with all over
That's how
your
you
shit?
wind up. Yeah, you wind up catching something nasty.
That's how you wind up with a whole platoon of rigs!
You get some scotchy chingos at a minimum.
During standing, a person needs to lift the penis higher during urination. Duh.
You can tell the person who wrote this doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Is this really something that requires huge amounts of physical exertion? I mean, unless you're a dude with like a 28-pound hog that's hanging down to his fucking ankle that he has to tuck into his tube socks. And then, then he's like, oh, I hear you, buddy.
DTL, man, dick too long.
Yeah, dick too long. Yeah, he just lays it in the toilet and then goes brushes his teeth.
I swear to God, the guy fucking... he must have had a really hard time with that thing growing up.
You try to hide it. You do everything that you can. You ace bandage it to your knee, but that only works until you're at the beach, and you're wearing sweatpants instead of swim trunks. And then, Pamela Anderson slow motion runs by and you wind up kicking her in the face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Wow.
Jail.
Going to jail.
I'll be there. Sitting down is considered modern in progressive cultures like Sweden and the UK. Sweden is the rapé capital of the Western world since they opened their borders to Muslim migrants.
Correct.
And the UK says that we should just get used to terrorist attacks as a part of big city living. How about you go eat a big, steaming bowl of sodium-infested dicks? It's nice and salty for you.
Yeah, that is insane. What the fuck is going on with the human race, man?
Peeing standing is a sign of immaturity.
That's blame and shame right there. They want you to feel bad for standing up and pissing.
If you stand to pee, you're an immature man. You're not a real man. You're immature. You're basically a boy.
You know what's immature, though, is when you go into a public restroom and you start pissing, and then you jump in the air and spin around a couple times and spray the room. That's immature.
That Calvin and Hobbes cartoon is part of the zeitgeist, printed on everyone's brain. Peeing while standing will forever be associated with little boys. Humans in general tend to be creatures of opportunity. We saw the bones there from the carcass that we had just finished hunting with our bare hands and decided, if I could use that bone as a club, that's a longer range weapon. I can stay safer. And for hundreds of thousands of years, we didn't have toilets. So if you're a dude,
what you had to do.
If you're a dude, you stand up to pee because you can stay farther away from the ground where all the scorpions and the poisonous snakes and all this other shit are that could potentially leap up your butthole and turn your day into something a little less than desirable.
Yeah?
You should only stand when you can't find a toilet that's suitable for you to sit on. Well, so now you're just going to flat out tell me what to do.
In the public restroom, I'm a cleaner. There are guys, this is what I've seen in all my travels here. It's just a theory. You got the Hooverer,
yeah,
who never sits down. He just kind of hovers over the toilet.
Yep.
And then I've seen the guys, I've seen, it looks like somebody just opened the door, stuck their ass in there and sprayed they don't even go in there. They just deposit it. Somebody else will clean it up for them.
That's disgusting, man.
And then you have me, I'm an inspector and a cleaner. I wipe it down. And then you have the dam builders who throw down...
the toilet paper?
They'll put their toilet paper on the toilet seat so it doesn't touch their skin. And dude, I've seen it all. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, anybody who wants to try to claim that men are immature when it comes to going to the bathroom, just go spend 5 minutes in a women's bathroom at a truck stop or a gas station. My wife had to stop in a gas station on the way up here, back from Texas. She came back and she was pale. What's going on? She's like, it looked like somebody was murdered in there. Period. Wow. Blood all over the toilet seat. They just didn't fucking bother to clean it up.
Yep.
They're stuffing tampons and maxi pads into the fucking toilet and flushing them and clogging up the works.
When I was in high school, I worked at a couple of restaurants and I had to clean the woman's bathroom, and it was always significantly worse than the men's.
Yeah.
It's just so disgusting.
Yeah. Nice blame and shame game, lady. It's not working too well for you. To assume one can always pee standing up or sitting down is naive at best. Thank you for completely shattering your own argument.
They always do that. Do you ever notice that? Whenever they write these stupid articles, they always have like a torpedo in there that destroys their entire argument.
Well, it just
Did this woman take critical thinking or anything? What the fuck?
Obviously not. She was too busy taking women's studies.
Yeah,
So
and we know they don't use critical
So
thinking.
she could sign up to get I'm sure what's a completely lucrative and very above board, always in the black career of writing for Femoid magazine. Women pee squatting and both sexes pee in a direction different than from an open leg in a straight line. Duh. It's only an open leg if you're trans, and that's what they use to create your penis.
Do they actually do that? They build a penis? I know they tear a penis down and stuff it inside.
They take a slice of skin from your leg, roll it into a tube, and then they sew it on there. It totally looks real.
Oh my God.
You're an idiot. No.
Anybody who has not seen that Mr. Metokur video where he goes into this stuff in detail, I will link it to you because, that's nightmare fuel on a platter.
If you have any kind of surgery down in your nether regions, there's a very significant chance that it will never work the same way it did. Just saying.
And that goes for everyday procedures.
Correct.
But there are dudes who have botched vasectomies. Thankfully, I am not one of those men. Because I heard the stories. I researched.
I did my research. I got a horrible story about that.
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, that was terrible when I'm never doing that again.
I know, you told me, and I was like,
Yeah, and I'm one of those freakish guys that my shit healed up and continued working, and I'm not doing that twice. I'm done.
Yeah.
No.
Sitting makes your urethra wider so the urine you release is easier to empty. Once again, with the incomplete pees, you don't want that. If that is a legit biological fact, fine. Because now we're in the realm of facts and not feelings.
Well, guys with prostate problems do have this problem about not being able to empty their bladder 100% when they go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And over time, that irritates the bladder and causes the muscle walls to thicken.
But
most people who don't have prostate problems don't have this issue peeing, and a large majority of them piss standing up pretty much almost every time.
Sitting allows you to pet your dog while peeing.
You shouldn't have your dog in a public restroom?
Well, these are just restrooms in general, I think, now. We're all over the map.
Oh, she's jumping. I mean, she's basic, because I got the impression she was talking about men's behavior in public.
Exactly, because are your trans friends following you into your restroom at home?
Well, and here's another thing I refuse to do. I refuse to have toilet wars with any woman that I see or whatever.
Oh, hell no.
Like, yeah, put the seat up. I'm like,
okay,
you need to fucking look where you're pissing. What?
I mean, it's actually, if you want to be technical about the whole equality bit, it's actually harder for me to lift the seat because I'm working against gravity. As a woman, all you have to do to lower the seat is flick it. If you are standing, the position in which your feet are placed may pose a risk, and you can fall over. Okay, now you're insulting the intelligence of anybody who's reading this.
Son of a bitch.
If you honestly think that men are such immature, clumsy creatures that they can't even stand to piss without posing themselves a fall risk, what are you doing with your life?
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there who fall for this stupid shit. And they think they're educated, but in reality, they're weak-willed and stupid.
Shit, man, I've heard of brainwashing, but this is like somebody sawed open this bitch's head, pulled her brains out, used a wire brush between all of the folds, and then cut it in half and splayed it open with some bleach water on it so that it could hang out in the sun to dry.
Jesus Christ.
This is safety first, my ass. Cleanliness. And finally, here's one reason sitting down to pee is downright earth-shattering and a must. Your pee is more likely to go down into the water. A man needs to control what goes into the toilet. Learn from the best. Women and trans men already figured out the secret.
So she's talking about, guys who miss their aim and like piss outside the toilet.
Oh my God.
So what? Clean it up. Shut up, you bunch of whiny bitches.
And you know what? It says 30 reasons men should sit down to pee, right?
Yeah.
Shall we count?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So she can't even get half of what she said. Oh, my God.
All right, so 30 reasons a man needs to sit down to pee, and you could only come up with 14, and yet you didn't edit the article when you were finished. Or even come up with like a bullshit 15 one.
Or
just so you could have...
At least half.
Half.
Or she didn't remove the torpedo one either. That torpedoed her entire argument.
She's not even a half wit. She's a 14th, 30th wit. What the fuck?
Wow.
Holy jumping
are
fucking
you serious?
shitballs.
And it's got major typos, and it basically torpedoes its own argument.
It torpedoes its own argument, and of the 14 reasons that we were given out of the holy 30, only 2 of them have any biological truth to them. Now, the cleanliness thing, I will agree with that to a point, because this mother fornicator, if he pisses like he shot at sniper school, all of the foreign dictators can rest easy tonight.
Yeah.
Not every time, but after you've had like a few of the, like 2 or 3 shots of the cold brew, I got to go through my bathroom with like a towel and a hazmat suit and a flamethrower and.
You know, I just use some liquid put some bleach in water.
I know.
And then just, you're fine.
It's fine.
Bunch of idiots.
I don't worry. I grew up with my dad. My dad gave no fucks.
That's right. He did not participate in the toilet wars.
No, he did not participate in the toilet wars. He always let the seat up. He did not give a shit.
If you're a dude and you're making a majority of the money and you come home and then she's bitching about how you use the toilet, you'd be like, hey. Yeah.
The only legit toilet war thing that I will actually give women, if you shoot through the hoop and you piss on the seat, that's a dick move. If you're tired off your ass or drunk in the middle of the night or something like that and you shoot through the hoop and whatever and you're just fucking tired and you saunter off looking like a wino on 8 Mile, it is what it is. But if you make a habit of that shit, like my son does that.
How old is he?
He's 6.
Okay, 6.
Okay, that is one thing where I'll be like, okay, now if you're shooting through the hoop and you're like a 30-year-old dude, the immaturity thing may have an argument, but just standing to pee is a sign of being a little boy?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's blame and shame, man.
Grow up.
That's our job, though, is we're here to point out the propaganda, the blame and shame, and we just pick it apart using logic, reason, and facts.
And now, I mean, like, the fact that this is becoming so trendy, I mean, you literally do have trenders going on out there. It's like, they might as well just advertise it like this. Are you a mediocre man who can't stand up with real men around him? That's fine. Become a woman.
Because that makes everything better.
And you will succeed in sports.
That's totally true.
In fact, if you're a violent sack of shit and you just want an excuse to beat the ever-loving shit out of women and have people call it stunning and brave, in fact, they'll call you the bravest athlete in the history of the world, become a woman. You can beat the ever-loving shit out of women and no one can say that you are being a bigot. And VAWA will not even touch you.
VAWA, man, that's another bunch of useless fucking laws.
I love how Biden is trying to expand VAWA at the same time he's erasing women. I mean, isn't that kind of like buying a shoe for a leg after you cut it off? Why do we have to get the Jordans? That's $300, bro, and we're just burying it. Can't you just put them in the Converse or something?
It's just a leg, man.
Come on,
stick it in a box, throw it in the dirt.
Meat.
Who's gonna know?
Shit, man, I'd rather eat it.
Oh, don't say that. Oh.
Tastes like chicken.
Stop! God damn it, that's just nasty.
All 3 seasons of Hannibal are on Amazon for free.
I started watching it. It's not bad, actually.
That is a really fucking good show, man. I love in the first episode when they're sitting there and he's brought him breakfast. So we all know what's going on. And he's eating it, and Will looks and he's like, to tell you the truth, I just don't find you that interesting. And Hannibal's just like, you will. And he takes a bite. I'm like, ah! Genius. We always go off in the weeds when we read something this stupid because...
We can't help it.
You have to try to maintain your sanity in some way.
No. Well, the way my thinking meat works is the needle's in the groove, but if I hit something that's crazy stupid, it bumps me off and I just lose it.
There is no redeeming quality to an article like this. The only reason that it exists is to try to make real men feel ashamed of themselves for being men.
That's right.
To try to make other people who cannot accept themselves for who they are feel better.
And they're weakening all of the men across the board, and men are maintaining the civilization.
Yes.
So when you weaken them to the point where they are feckless and so forth, you're going to have big problems. Because there'll always be men out there willing to do vicious, horrible things with violence. And if there aren't good men to keep them in check,
Yep.
that's where we get the hard times.
Yes. Dudes, take a note. Stop giving on this shit. Because we all know what happens. It's never just this fight. There's too much money to be made keeping a fight going or moving the goalposts or coming up with some new reason that you're oppressed this week. Stop giving an inch because they always take the fucking mile. And then after they take that, they're coming for more.
They're coming for everything.
Because the gays just said, we just want to get married like everybody else. Okay, that's where it's going to end. That's where it's going to stop, right?
Yeah, right.
Now we have the Equality Act, which threatens to take your kids away if you don't allow them to go on fucking puberty blockers. This is where this shit is heading, and it's because, in the name of tolerance, we kept stepping back and stepping back. Hold your ground. Hold the line. If it's wrong, fucking call it out. And if people say that you're a bigot, say, yes, I am. And fuck off.
That's right. That's what we do.
Because this society is going into the shitter over tolerance. It's not tolerance, it's just discrimination against the majority for the hopes that the minority will be able to clean sweep and pick up a whole bunch of fucking cash.
Yep. I mean, goddamn, we're fucked.
Follow the money and stop giving these people space. They didn't earn it. If they earned it, cool. Because that means that they would actually have to do something besides write stupid articles like this from their slacktivist armchairs, bitching and moaning about shit that doesn't affect them and really is not a problem. They just want to try to control everybody else's fucking behavior.
That's
It
exactly
pisses
what
me
they're
off.
doing. They want to control.
And spun up.
But the thing is, this is all done as a guise to bring in equality of outcome.
Equity.
Which they call equity, which is socialism / communism. That never works out.
Nope.
And it always goes to a graveyard.
And I'll tell you what, if they're banning you on social media, it's because you're saying something right. Look at it as a badge of honor, and then go to alt-tech platforms because that's where you're going to find us when the shit hits the fan.
That's right.